welcome to our 171st episode of Guerrilla Radio. I'm Joe Caprino, joined again by Mr. Mike Reiser and our hour-long pre-show.
Yeah. When's the last time we had a 171 weight class? When did they get rid of that?
That would have been... What would it have been? It would have been... When did they move 103? 103 would have been like 2012, I think.
Who was your favorite 171?
Marcus Shantu. No.
Dude, Marcus Shantu was pretty good, man.
Yeah, he was leading Kelsey Anderson for a while.
Beat my boy Matt Trammell.
Nice.
A couple times. They wrestled in the same conference. We get to see Matt every year at the NCAAs.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. 171. Got lots of good guys. You got Drake
Blake
Stein.
Maurer,
Alex Dolly. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That's a real good match. Let's see. We should have making sure we have comments here. Got a little bit of a new layout if you guys can't tell. I don't know if people are on the stream yet. Let's just make sure. So, sectional wrapped up. Nothing too crazy. Only lost a couple
crazy things.
Yeah. Nothing too. I mean, we're kind of. There we go. We're used to. Whoa.
Losing Isaac Campbell, I think. Thank you. Finally, we got Erica's soap. I dropped it off him. I did the Joe Caprino drop off. I dropped it right by his tire, man.
Yeah, nice. Oh man, I gotta get.
He was
this. Yeah. Yeah.
When we getting Chris in the Hall of Fame, I think we need to start doing a poster Hall of Fame. I'd say like every year we should like nominate a poster for Poster of the Year.
Nice. There we go.
Who would be the Poster of the Year this year?
Who would be the Poster of the Year? I don't know.
I know I get the most questions about.
Who's that?
Dog Pound.
Dog Pound
Red. I get the most questions of who is that. Like I have a secret formula to find out who everybody is. I said I don't know. His email is Dog Pound Red. I don't know, or her email.
His or her. Yes. The how do I say? You know that their burner accounts when they have the same username or the email address was created just as like dogpoundred at Gmail. You made an account just for that, and
yeah.
One of the times they mess up. They'll mess up once, and then you'll find that it's some random, Caleb Spires or something.
Yeah, I think we usually get all of those emails at the state finals, like the state finals night when everyone's out. That's usually when you get flooded with 100 new ones.
Yes. Let's see. Ooh, can this? Trying to get my the comments to load better. I got a little bit of a new layout, if you couldn't tell. So, sectionals went. We lost 3 ranked guys.
I mean, a couple of them, like Isaac Campbell was a huge one. I thought. I really didn't think Isaac Campbell was in the mix for a state title. I know that coming down from 13 early on, that was that's a big loss for Floyd. And I think you did the updated power poll, and Floyd kind of dropped there.
Yeah, that's something we're kind of going to try to update. I have the semi-states done also, but don't want to release them all at the same time. But Mike and I were talking. It was like it would be kind of cool just to kind of update the power poll, like by pulling out all the ranked guys and then shifting everyone up a spot or two, whatever it is, and kind of rerunning the numbers. So.
We waited until a long time to do the rankings. So I got them up Friday night. Some of the weights are really deep. I think I did like the 1 through 10. 1 through 10 is usually pretty easy. Those guys are pretty clean. They don't lose a lot. And then like that, like 11 through 20, 11 through 15 is pretty, like, it's tough, but it's not super tough. But like, man, 15 through like 25 was really hard. I think we probably could have went 15 through 30, 35 in some of those weights. Like
Yeah.
looking at the back part of some of those weights, you're really like, man, there's a lot of talent there. And I hate to see Campbell out like that too, but luckily he'll be back. Maybe he'll be at 26 next year.
Yeah, most likely. Oh, jeez.
And then we also lost. Who was another ranked wrestler we lost? Max Forrester. Really tough sectional. Took a loss to Big Joe from Avon. I think he beat Big Joe a couple times, right?
Yeah, I think he beat him at least once. But Joe used the government name this week. I don't know if
he did. He did. I seen that. I like when that happens. So, I mean, that's a big loss for Brownsburg. I'm sure they were looking for him to score some big points, and he went into the wrestleback and lost to the freshman from Ben Davis, who's incredibly athletic, incredibly talented. I think those guys are going to be looking for, a bright future for him. And
I think that's tough. Heavyweight's always tough. He lost a close match early on, and then
Eric said he knows who Dog Pound Red is. I bet it's a Crown Point guy.
Of course, Crown Point people know who they are. So, Forrester was one of those guys that was trying to get these better. It's heavyweight. You can't predict a lot of things. Lost a close match, and then I think he was up in the blood round and end up losing. So that happens, and we'll go from there, I guess. As a
shout out to them. For the guys that are out there, Tarek Hinton, a freshman from Ben Davis, 30-7. I mean, to be a freshman at heavyweight and knock off a ranked guy like that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Moving on to one of the toughest regionals in the state.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough regional. Kind of just going over that. Doesn't look like there's too many, first round matches in the regionals that are like death draws, which is good. But yeah, who else we lost? Shuey from Columbus North had a injury.
Yeah, he ended up not getting cleared, and he was a senior also. That's unfortunate. I think that one's like one of those ones you never want to see anyone lose the postseason to injury, and he had a really good year. He was having a really good year.
Yeah. And then the only other state ranked guy on Elijah Kiner from Mount Vernon. I know that was a pretty tough weight class, pretty tough sectional. So that's not totally surprising. I didn't exactly see where who he lost to or how he lost, but that one was kind of a little bit surprising. Let's see, who did he lose to? 175. He was a 3 seed, got pinned, and then lost 3-2 to MJ Morton. That's a tough blood round match right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Morton.
I think MJ Morton took his first losses there, correct?
Yeah, Morton came in unseeded, and they put him in a rat tail match, and that kind of threw that whole bracket off. That put everyone in a bad position. I mean, Kiner definitely was should have been top 4 there. I mean, yeah, that's tough that they didn't seed Morton. I don't know. I mean, not being at the meeting, you don't know what went on there. Obviously, we had some seed meeting shenanigans.
It sounded like that was like one of the big posts on the board. Just guys getting people seeded and pulling them out and getting added in a different seed, which little shenanigans there, a little gamesmanship. Sounded like they were going pretty heavy off of records.
Yeah,
I heard Gavin Gendris, number 1 ranked Gavin Gendris, was almost not a number 1 seed. Not that I think that it was, you can draw him out of a hat. I think it'd been fine, but sometimes we forget common sense, right?
Yes. Yeah. yeah, it's you want to fight for your kids, but at the same time, it like you have to also know where your kid belongs, and if they because you can really screw up a regional. You're going to screw a lot of kids, a couple kids. You know, it's a domino effect when you do that. When you have like two best kids on the one side of the bracket, and then now they're 1 and 3, so that second place guy on that other regional gets hit with, you know, the second best kid. The two second best kids wrestle in the first round of regional and knock somebody out. So,
I did the Dana and Rex show last night. They were talking about fried bologna sandwiches out there. Man, I said I was going to go to my dad's house and have him make me a fried bologna sandwich, but I didn't go.
Nice.
So it's a little bit of a hike. It's about a 45-minute hike back to the township. But it sounded good. I'm saving it for when I go up to the Double Eagle.
The Double Eagle? Nice. Yeah, so there's always that fun kind of stuff with seating meetings, and we've all been in them, or I've been in enough of them that you kind of know what goes on. You kind of understand what's going to go on in those meetings, so it is what it is, and you just kind of deal with it at that time. So, I don't know. Any other any other controversies? Caleb did not lose any semi-state guys, which is pretty good.
No. And dude, shout out to Caleb, man. That's pretty impressive. I thought I was gonna lose any. I think I lost. I lose 2 12s.
Yeah.
I blame the Logansport Regional.
You blame the Logansport Regional.
I need to, I'm gonna have to go next year and make a couple trip down to the Logansport Regional and maybe head out to Twin Lakes, invite and get a better feel of what the wrestling is over there, so I can get a better grasp on the semi-state. I'm gonna Barton, man. I'm gonna blame Barton for not giving me good information.
He should have all the good juice from because we're gonna do an article on those guys. We got an article staged for tomorrow, so.
Man, I'm gonna get Brandon Barton to just start doing a Logansport regional ranking and sending me that.
That's what you should be doing. So
yeah, Jake Conley's gonna be good. I thought there was a lot of good matches. There's a lot of overall. I think at the Bloomington North one, someone had posted like Terre Haute South. They got everyone through, but didn't have a champ. But then they didn't know how to do track or something. I looked at it, I was like, whoa, that's shocking because Terre Haute South's really good.
Yeah, they have some guys that should be champs at least.
I was thinking like Cassad and just a lot of those guys, and I was like, man, they didn't get a single champ. I had to go back and look, and then someone corrected him before he did it. I was like, oh man.
That became a updated how to work track wrestling. So, oh man, did this mess up? You there?
Yeah, I think they ended up with a handful of champs, right? I think they ended up with 5 or 6 champs.
Yeah, that was a fun post.
Sean Murphy. A lot of undefeated guys going through the brackets. There's a ton how many did we start with undefeated?
How many did we start off with? There was at least one. Let's see. We started with 69, and we have how many left now? We have 52. So we lost 17 of them. 17
zeros went away.
Yes.
What do you think? How many champs? How many undefeated wrestlers do you think we'll have at the end?
Well, I was kind of looking at. People were talking 106. You have Boyd and Jones, who are both undefeated.
And there's a handful of undefeated people at 106, right? Heather Crawl still undefeated.
Heather Crawl, Rex Moore, Brady Bird. Could have 4 semifinalists all undefeated. So that could be interesting there. So I could see them. I would say that's one that will likely become undefeated. Obviously, you're gonna have Moore and Boyd will hit up next week, most likely. 113 won't be undefeated. 120, Ty Henderson's the only undefeated wrestler. Um, that's going to be an interesting one if he can survive the next two, semi-state and state undefeated. 26. We have Neil Mosier, Lane Horn, Hayden, or nope, DeMarco's at 32. 26. Who's our top rank? Who's the top ranked guy there? That's
Schaefer. He has a loss.
Schaefer and LT. I mean, I'd say Mosier probably goes in undefeated. Horn will be a good one. That could be
semi-state.
Yeah, that should be an interesting. I would say that one's a little more likely, but not crazy likely. 132, DeMarco, Jackson Bradley, Tylen Thrine.
I think Gary Westside had a couple. I seen someone put kid from Gary Westside's pretty good. Newell from Gary Westside is tough. I thought Gary Westside had a couple guys with really good records.
Yeah, Thrine most likely there. I mean, DeMarco's wrestling real well, so I mean he can't be counted out. Could finish undefeated. 38, Tony Wood, Gavin Whitehead, Luke Reed, Drake Fritz. We'll lose one of those at least next week. That's gonna, with Lavelle and Shepard, that's gonna be hard to throw in those guys.
With Ison.
Yeah, and Ison. Yeah, 44, Doster, Hyvert, Jack Todd. That's gonna be I mean, that one could very well be undefeated there. 150. Borden Rice, Hunter May is right in there. Christopher Bond. His dad likes hot dogs. So
the man of the people, right?
Yeah. Hunter May's returning runner-up, so he's definitely in the mix there to stay undefeated. Obviously, he'll have to go through Cresia at least once.
Yeah, that'd be semi-state.
157, Brabender Davis. The only ones undefeated. Brabender's obviously ranked number 1 for a reason. So that's one that would be semi-likely. 65, Cabe Stebbins, Isaac Sinks, RJ Trevino. I think the top couple guys there are all have a couple losses. Reinhardt, Kressel, Roddy Bush. Stebbins is the only number 4 without a loss. He's gonna have to beat. Stebbins is gonna have to beat Myers again, so that's gonna be interesting. 75, Sam Howard, Ethan Pop, Aiden Costello. Costello's ranked number 1, so he'll run into Pop next week. 190, Eli Kuhlman, Noah Weaver, Luke Panola. Panola and Weaver both will they hit up this week?
Not sure.
Rossville, I believe they will. Rossville
Thomas Eric's going to be the bookie. You got to get what to be taking. The line's 5. You can't do 5, man. 5's a push. You got to do 4.5.
Yeah. You got 215, Jelante Hinton, Colt Chicoine, Deming, and Wyatt Woodall. So those are, you'll have 2 of them meet. Chicoine and Deming will meet up next week. I think we have a pretty good 215 heavyweight. Juan Cruz, Ramos McNutt, and Brady Beck. Someone's got to take a loss next week, at least.
Yeah. So
I would say 4 max would be what I would. So if it's at 4.5, I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I think it'll be the under too. I mean, obviously, like the big 3 were taking a lot of those losses out of state.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the top guys lost are out of state. Paul Clark's was out of state. Will Clark's are all out of state. Gunner's all out of state wrestlers. Costello's still undefeated. Reinhardt's are out of state. Rob Bender's undefeated. Krejcia's out of state. Both of those are Ironman, correct?
Yeah. All the Center Grove losses are at Ironman. But those are in the database now, so you can check those out.
Shepard has 3 out of state, 2 at Ironman, 1 at Bo Bassett. He's pretty good.
Yeah. So
no, I don't think undefeated. I mean, I think that used to be. I mean, I think undefeated used to be like the thing that like you hear that like, oh man, you know. And now like with the kind of Indiana loosening the regulations on the border, and you're able to kind of sneak over to different states and wrestle some of those big events, and you know we have some teams that are able to compete in those events. You're gonna have less undefeated champs now.
Yeah,
which is good. Which is good and bad. I'm sure, like, if you were whoever and you went to Ironman, you went to Carnahan, you went to wherever, and you were still undefeated, that's pretty good. If you're able to do that, we're probably talking about multiple-time champs.
Yeah. I mean, we had state champs lose a couple times last year, so... And
yeah.
We had, what, 3... Or no, there were 3 state champs that were there this year, and they all took at least 2 losses. They all took 2 losses, if not, at least 2 losses. So it's tough. I mean, when you have teams like our best teams are going over to the Ironman, that's going to put a couple of blemishes on your record, which is fine. It's good to see those guys there, and I think those kids want to see that competition. They don't want to just pin everybody in 15 seconds and not get pushed during the season and stuff. So. And you'll see that. I mean, I think that stuff will pay off in the end for those guys. I mean, we all kind of know. We kind of know that Wrestle Night Good competition will pay off in the end. So, So I guess we both ended up not going anywhere other than just kind of. I was watching multiple sectionals and kind of watching some results. I know there's some close ones. Jay County. Adam Central was leading pretty big going in the finals, and they kind of maxed out their points, and Belmont kind of came storming back with some champs. I know around here.
It ended up coming down like the last match, right?
Yeah, it came down to the last match, and the Adam Central just couldn't pull out another win, so they end up losing there. The New Haven sectional, we kind of thought it was going to be close. It was only half a point, separated 3 teams to start the finals, and then they got kind of separated a little bit there. So I was doing the regional breakdown of that regional, and that's going to be pretty interesting, the Carroll regional, because I think there's about 10 points separate like 4 teams. So I know, well, Crown Point, they lost 1 match Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm not as familiar. I mean, obviously, when it used to be 4 teams, that was pretty regular. I don't know what the 8 teams, if anyone's kind of dominated a sectional like that.
Yeah.
I mean, 13 of the 14 champs.
And
as I was watching it, because I was at one of my softball player signings, I was like, man, they could win they would almost shut out, not even just win a duel against the entire sectional. They would almost shut out the entire sectional.
Yes.
You can make an all-star team of everybody else from that sectional, and they would still almost shut them out. And the only win was Kenny Bisping of Lowell over Austin Reedon in a pretty close match.
Yeah, that's insane. That I mean,
yeah.
And we were kind of talking about that beforehand. Is that sectional that week, or is it just a combination? Because we're seeing Brownsburg, we're seeing Crown Point or Center Grove, who are just as good at that same level. They're not doing that. So is Crown Point that good, or is that sectional kind of just a little bit weaker there?
I think it definitely lost some depth when Lake Central got moved over to East Chicago, which I think that makes more sense to kind of pull LC into an area where, I mean, that East Chicago sectional outside of Maryville was a little bit on the leaner side with forfeits and stuff. And LC went over there and won the East Chicago sectional, which was really good for them. And congratulations to Coach Treveline and my guy Nate Fowler over there coaching. Told me I get my guy. Everyone had a black polo except for Nate. They have him in a blue polo. I'm confused. He didn't get the dress code memo.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Lowell's solid. I think Hanover Central's solid. I just think that they're really good, and there's not like another upper like level team. Lowell was in the mix for team state vote in. Hanover Central I think is gonna be really solid the next couple of years. I think Coach Bradbury's doing a really good job. Where like Brownsburg has Avon. I think past that, I mean, Brownsburg and Avon are pretty good. I mean, Ben Davis is solid, but I mean, Plainfield Pike. But Avon Brownsburg's the two cream of the crop. Like they don't have an Avon in there, obviously.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like they might do it again next week. You know.
Yeah.
I think you bring in Chesterton and New Prairie who are solid. You bring in Hyvert who's killing everybody. And then you're gonna bring in Jaden Lewis. You're gonna bring in Caleb Halfacre. Him and Gavin Lewis. Could be a close match. I know Halfacre just had that really good win over Brady Harper. You bring in DeMarco and the Chesterton guys. So it becomes a little bit, and then obviously like Lowell will be looking to get back out there. Dalton Robson lost to Sunny Sessa 1-0, but he's gonna be on the same size as DeMarco now. But I think that makes it a little bit tougher. But I still think that they can put 14 in the finals.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at.
XL, man, I need to get a Hager, Hershey, and Zelt High School Wrestling Weekly shirt. Presented by the Double Eagle.
Yeah, tell him your size, he'll get you one. He's got a whole stash of them. He gives them away to kids for Halloween. All the kids in the neighborhood wear them.
We're like the Brownsburg one, that Mooresville Regional. You have Avon, you have Brownsburg, you have some really strong individuals. You bring in Monrovia, who has some really strong individuals. You bring in, obviously, bring in Center Grove, who's another nationally ranked team, and that makes that regional so tough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It doesn't look like as many like death draws this year as there has like in the past. There'd be several ranked wrestlers staying home, and I don't know if I see that this year.
No, there's a couple. Obviously, I mean, with as many people that are ranked there, that's obviously going to. I'm looking at the brackets right now. You're gonna have guys hitting 106, nobody, 113, Ash and Kylie Riley, or Kyle.
Yeah, he's
Kyle.
a freshman.
Yeah, from Plainfield.
Hi, Kyle.
I couldn't tell if that was a Kylie or Kyle. And then you have Logan Schnarr and Revan Dickman. So a couple state-ranked guys against semi-state ranked guys.
We got some clarification. I'm guessing Amanda might know.
Yes. Well, I was like, man, is that font like say it? I was like, no, that's not Kylie. So need my. I have my glasses on, so I should be able to see it.
In Center Grove, Avon right off the bat, Jeremiah Arbol, Senior, and Nate Rio. I mean, those guys. There's probably not a lot of times where you're going to see, Brownsburg cheering for Avon, but try to get all as many Center Grove guys as you can.
Yeah.
We had Nate Rio and Dickman part 9.
Is it really 9 or is that, yeah?
Man, I bet those guys wrestle a ton.
Yeah.
But Schnarr's tough. That'll be just unfortunate. I think the weird thing about regional is, if you get fourth that, you're going to draw who you're drawing.
Yeah.
So like Schnarr knows that he has, the defending state champ.
Yeah. He knows when he's in that third and fourth match, he's either getting Rio or Dickman. So
yeah, that's probably not what you want. I mean, but we love the sport because anything can happen, but
I think it does and has happened. So, that one, that's the kind of fun thing. We don't have to worry about the draw, wait for the draw, wait for it to get released and stuff. So we get the brackets, and you kind of, you're checking when you see one of your kids, drop a semifinal match, you're like, uh-oh. And that other sectional has a couple good kids. You're like, okay, hopefully, somebody gets upset there. So.
Yeah, Chase Klein. He's in the third and fourth place match. Real tough freshman for Avon. He's gonna have Isaac Ash, who just took his first loss.
Yeah,
who's in the semifinals last year. That's not the draw you want.
Yeah.
And there's always Mooresville's been that the last couple of years, and I mean, it's kind of been the hotbed for academies like in central Indiana. I mean, I think we're pretty blessed in the region also, but I mean, you're feeding that whole area is feeding into one regional.
Yeah.
Where like, Contenders and Red Cobra and all those guys are, and they're feeding like those wrestlers are all getting better together and they feed in the same regional. So it's incredibly tough.
Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be some. We're going to be talking next week about the death draws in Evansville. We'll bring on, I believe, on Wednesday of next week, Dustin's going to be on. So I think that's his only free night that we will have the Dustin Bentz. He is excited to go to Evansville 2 straight weeks. So
he was on the hot mic too, man. They reeled him in. He was calling a sectional.
Yeah.
Keith Parker, Lucas Caldwell. Lucas Caldwell had a really good win early on this year. I believe it was I forget who it was against, but he had a really good win early. Parker's taken a couple losses the last couple weeks. So that'd be a good first round match. Who did Caldwell beat?
Yeah. Caldwell would have beaten Knapp or.
Did he beat the Terre Haute South kid?
Oh.
No, he had a close match 7-5 with Diderot.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, there's not. You can't take that first round off for most of those guys. Might get a Hockaday Eddie Goss final. Freddie, that'll be a good one.
You think it's going to get as heated as Eddie Goss and DeMarco at Al Smith final in the Shaking Cross? Eddie Goss, Quentin Sheff would be a tough one in the semi.
Yeah,
possibly.
Allegedly.
Dido. Sorry. I appreciate that. Hey, anytime we get the pronunciation, I appreciate that.
Dido. 138. Nothing. Everybody got separated. Pretty good.
Possibly get that Seth Syra, William Van der Legaren rematch.
14-15, 4-5. So that'd be a good one right there. Definitely. 138.
Pizza rolls or pizza puffs, man. If they had pizza puffs, we know who had the best hospitality room.
Yes, that'd be real good. 144. Reese Courtney, Parker Reynolds, 1 and 2, potentially in the finals. So that'll be, and then the loser, is that one with a potential death draw? I gotta look at my rankings. Where the loser there gets, that one might be not as bad of a death draw.
Well, I think
Courtney, no.
150. I think 150 is gonna be like. Yeah, that's the one I'm like, ugh. Because you're going to have Cresia, Tommy Gibb possibly in the finals. Not looking past it. I mean, Griffin Sanders also a single-digit loss. Took a loss to Cresia last week. But, I mean, one of those guys could hit Hunter May in the ticker round.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. Hunter May. One of those guys is going to hit Hunter May. And then you also have out of Castle. Or those are... Okay, he's coming out of Bloomington South. I was thinking, I see him in the modern day singlet, but he comes out of Bloomington South. Alex Smith, who's pretty tough. Alex Smith and Tyler Vanover are going. They'll be coming out of Castle. So that's
at 44, right?
Yeah, that's at 50. So there. I mean, so Gibbs is number 3 in the semi-state, so he has a 1-3 chance of running into Hunter May. So yeah, that's not a good potential draw.
It doesn't look like a ton of like real tough first round. I mean, they're all tough first round matches. I'm not saying that. Like, I don't want someone to be like, but nothing like rankings wise that you're looking at like where it's going to be like, oh man, like you have 2 top 10 guys hit each other in the first round.
Yeah.
I thought that Bloomington South regional. Man, geographically, my Indiana geography's not very good. Is Bloomington and Terre Haute close?
No, not really.
What's the drive for those guys? I feel like those are like corner, like far, like west to like the center of the state, right?
Yeah, that's a
You get both Terre Haute North and Terre Haute South going to Bloomington South.
hour
What's the
14.
time for that? It's not terrible.
Yeah.
Not great, but not terrible.
Yeah. I mean, that's for regional. What's around here, that's unheard of to go drive an hour for regional. I mean, for our regional, it's about 40 minutes probably for east side would be the furthest. Let's see.
I don't think, man, for region, I don't think anyone's really driving more like an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone's driving. Like, dude, it's an hour for me to get to Lafayette from Lowell. If Lowell's going to Logansport.
Yeah. So, yeah, the east side's probably the furthest one for the Carroll regional. Unless, I mean, yeah, Huntington used to be there, but yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. It's funny because east side will drive by DeKalb while DeKalb heads north. So,
I think, yeah, like some of the realignments, I'm sure that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Morocco's not that far. I don't think Morocco's that far from Crown Point.
yeah.
I guess Michigan City to CP is pretty far, depending on weather. But I think it's still like probably 40 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They should go to Hobart.
Yeah.
That is
The South, their alignments are all they like just pass each other on the highways, going both ways. So
Is there more of a like just even it out with teams?
I wish I have no clue how they.
I thought we were, dude. At some point, I thought we were part of like the redrawing of this. Like, remember when we were like drawing it up and
Yeah.
like we were asked, and then they just kind of scrapped that, right?
Yeah.
We had some wild ideas though, man.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, I have a list of each school and their closest regional, and then I tried to kind of just do it by that, not even look at who the teams were, and that got really tough because you're trying to keep about 18 schools in each regional, and you get to like 18 and you start moving them around, and then all of a sudden it's like, where's this school gonna go, because they're like they're nowhere. So it's kind of weird to I do not envy the people that have to do that.
I think someone gave Eric Thomas some bad information. We did not have Brownsburg, Center Grove, and CP in the same sectional.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Yeah, I think Hawk was telling me that like they're like, oh, they're gonna put Crown Point and Brownsburg in the same section. I was like, how? It's like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
And it's different time zones.
Yeah. I don't know what the I don't I mean that process I don't envy, especially a sport like wrestling where you have the central host. It's not like football or baseball. Baseball has central hosts too, don't they? Baseball
I think so.
Yeah. But like in I guess football is about one of the few that they travel to, someone. So, but they have the central host, but everyone, yeah. So I don't know. That's I'm glad I don't have to do something like that.
I think, I think New Prayer the only team that's not like. I think they might be the only team that's not in the Crown Point regional that's out of the time zone. Like they're in the split of the time zone. It's weird.
Yeah, they're right in the middle of that.
The 175 weight.
What sectional?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about. We're just talking sectionals. We haven't really talked about.
Let's go
What
over
sectional?
some of the Mooresville sectional / region semi-state. So yeah, we're just blabbling and trying to find some good stuff to talk about. But yeah,
Tell City, Terre Haute South, Bloomington North, and Jasper all in the same regional. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. That
maybe I'm not. Where's Tell City at?
Tell City's by.
I thought that was south. I thought that was further south.
Yeah, let's see where they at. Yeah, they're about an hour from Evansville. Hour just straight east. So
And then that Bloomington South regional too, huh?
yeah,
That's wild, man. They cut the South all wild, man.
yes. I don't think they cut it. They just kind of yeah. They're 2 hours from Bloomington.
Uh,
That's a
yeah, I think Bloomington South regional will be pretty good. That looks like it's pretty solid overall. Terre Haute South has been really good this year. We get to see Bloomington North or Bloomington South at Al Smith. They always have really strong individuals. Um, Evan Rowdy Bush, Cooksy's super excited. He had that awesome match with Zara Walker at Al Smith.
yeah. That's gonna be good. I mean,
That was a good move. Eli Collier pushed in there. That was a good move to cut to 13. That's a strong move.
yeah, 175. Emrine pretty good. Emrine Cooper McCloy. That should be and then you have James Hastings sitting in there also. So you got 3 ranked guys there. That'll be a good. That's not a 170. 175 is the weight class that Brownsburg, Crown Point, and Center Grove all decided not to have anyone good in there. So to give someone else another chance at a state champ.
And what guys that aren't ranked?
Yes.
Unranked in there.
Yes.
I don't want to say like.
Well, in their levels, good.
Yeah, I don't want to say not good. I would just say like not ranked in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all want the Bloomington. But that's a good one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. I guess. Well, Center Grove has Clouser.
Yeah, and I think that was a strong move for him too.
Yeah. So
hopefully he's wrestling well.
Yeah. Hopefully So he's gonna. I mean, Clouser.
Landon was quick enough to say, "Don't you do that."
Well, you pull that late drop on me.
I think he won his 3rd sectional, got his 100th win. Congratulations to Noah.
Nice.
Hopefully feeling 100% or as close to 100% to make a run.
Yeah. So the 2 losers out of Bloomington South they have a 1 in 3 chance of running into Mr. Clouser most likely in the ticket round. So
yeah,
that should be that's gonna be one. I mean, Clouser's probably looking at that like. Obviously, he'd like to have the 4, but yeah, that's going to be that's a good weight class. And McCloy, he was just a state qualifier in Kansas. So odd reason these Kansas guys keep coming back to Indiana.
Yeah, man, we got one in our semi-state too, undefeated.
Yeah,
undefeated Kansas guy. Yeah, McCloy, that'd be a good one. He's wrestling really well.
Yeah,
I think Hastings had a win over. I think he avenged the loss to Hastings. 90. Spencer Fain, Colin Cassad wrestling well. Noah Terry.
Okay, Noah, he's going to be, that'll be good. Number 6 and 11. 165 has Bender and Rowdy Bush. Rowdy Bush won round 1. So that should be good. And you got 11 and 12 wrestling in the first round. Cassius and Vernon. So Dustin's gonna lose a guy. I guess I didn't.
Yeah. One of these regional brackets. We got the IndianaMat regional brackets with rankings and everything on them. I looked at.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. Yes. They're very nice, formatted well. So if you want
a little easier, a little more fan friendly, a little easier to follow.
Oh yes, and you can fill them out. They got. You only have to print off 7 pages because they're smaller brackets. So hopefully people enjoy these brackets. So
that's us out here saving the environment, saving trees.
Yes. Next week you'll have your 14 brackets, and we'll have pick'ems next week. So excited for that. So brackets.
I did a pick'ems for every sectional. Every single sectional, I filled out a sectional for the semi-state. And I came away with there's a lot of forfeits.
Yeah, yes, there were. Hopefully, you at least got the 4th place finisher at 126 in East Chicago. Correct.
Man, I did. I seen that. I wasn't a fan of that. I thought 120 at the Crown Point Regional was pretty tough. I think a couple semi-state ranked guys there. I don't think state ranked guys, but I know there was a couple And right off the bat, you're gonna have Max Quiros and where's it at?
Isaiah Bukamaya.
Yeah, I know he put a ton of work this year, offseason off at House, and I know those guys speak really highly of him. He's having a solid season, but it's gonna be a tough one out the bat. Quiros is having a really good season too.
Yeah, that'll be a good first round match. Adrian Origal from North Newton took his first loss to Mr. Gendress.
Not too bad. Couple first losses at the Crown Point Regional.
Yeah. No, that's
I believe Quentin Buckmaster took his first loss to Clinton Shepard there.
Yeah, Buckmaster was he came out late. I mean, eligible late.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a grades thing. He KV I think gave him a partial eligibility. He was able to wrestle JV. So.
Yeah, you got Buckmaster and Josh England. First round, that should be a pretty good one. England's was he in the ticket round a couple years ago? I know he's been to semi-state at least once.
I think, and I know Buckmaster got not a great seed. He was on the same side as Shepard. I know last year he was injured before the state tournament, and they kind of went with. Well, we're going to go with state series and over winning percentage there. And so.
Yeah, that's a tough one to see. I mean, that's one of those that, like I said earlier, you're going to have possibly the the two best guys. They're going to run into each other in the semis again. I mean, they're going to both advance most likely, but that puts England in a bad spot because he's like, you have the two second best guys wrestling in the first round, so somebody's going home early, and that's it's always rough.
Sometimes you just gotta win the seeding meeting, right?
Yeah, and that's a little bit of reason why the coaches fight for those seeds too. They don't want to. And I heard there's some potential shenanigans going on.
I'll do that. Let's go, man. I'm always up to gamble. I just looked up $5 for back as Mike's. I'm really good at the regionals.
Yeah.
I think the one year we did like the Calumet regional, I missed one. And then last year I think I missed two. I got a Hobart wrestling shirt out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't do regional pick'ems anymore because they're not that. I don't know. I'd have to change the point scoring where you get like a little bit more points for picking champs and stuff like that. So that way you can separate them. So, let's see. Any other interesting brackets? You got Hyvert at 144. Kepter and Jaden Lewis. That should be a good one. Number 9 and 18. Potentially.
I had to pull up my IndianaMat brackets. I was getting tired of looking at track wrestling.
These ones are.
Yeah, I don't think there's a ton of like ranked guys hitting early on. A couple here or there, but I mean nothing like top ranked guys running into each other. I thought Dalton Robson wrestled really well against Sonny Sessa last week. 1-0 in the final. Have Xavier Roberts, senior from Vapu, I believe, who was at semi-state last year. DeMarco Sessa could be a rematch. Walter Drews and DeMarco, real tight match. I mean, I didn't get to see it, but I think that was like a 6-5 match in the sectional final.
Yeah. Where you at? You're at 132.
That was at 132. Yeah, Walter Drews unranked at the semi-state, losing by 1 to Hayden DeMarco.
Yeah, DeMarco's that's going to be a good one. 3-8, 1-3 in the semi-state. That could be, that's going to be a bad draw. Whoever loses that's going to be a bad draw for somebody coming out.
Drew's tough, man. He's real tough.
Yeah, and he's going to have Sessa in the semis. That could be, that's one that, that could be a very interesting match right there. Make the cabbage. Oh. I don't know what Xavier Roberts make the Cabbage Patch Kids means.
I don't know.
So,
like the Cabbage Patch Kid dance. Yeah, Hyvert, real tough. I mean, he's gonna be the heavy favorite there.
50, 50.
The Captor's wrestling really well. I thought, unfortunate. I know Evan Cruz had a concussion at Al Smith and couldn't make it back. But I mean, to have a backup or a guy that you just slide in the lineup like Captor, I know they didn't. I don't know if they got a chance to wrestle off or not. But Captor's a guy that's been at the semi-stage. He's gonna be looking to punch a ticket. Him and Lewis could be a really good match.
Yeah, that should be. Man, he only has 14 matches. Jeez.
Man, I feel like the Crown Point guys didn't have a ton of matches, right?
Yeah, you have Captor coming in with 14 matches. Lewis is coming in with 39.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get on those. We got to get the region up to those Kokomo numbers, man.
Yeah, sitting at close to 50 matches. 657. Van Tichel, Schaefer, Sessions. You got 65. Reinhardt and Mavros possibly.
Yeah.
75. Cobalt and Caden Paradise and Aiden White. So that should be a pretty. Yeah, 23, 24.
Paradise had beat Cobalt, and then Cobalt beat him before. Cobalt had a nice win over Laddish.
Detweiler.
Goshen kid early on. Yeah, Detweiler. Aiden White, Caden Paradis could be good. Fedorchek's pretty good.
So Bisping at 190. Ziegler from New Prairie. And then you got Farrell and Reading first round. The two guys with a couple of numbers beside their names. 215.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Farrell only a couple losses. I know he lost like his first match of the year, then took a couple later on. But Reading and Bisping were a pretty good match last week. Mm-hmm. The only non-Crown Point champ, so I'm sure he'll be looking to get a regional title this week.
Yeah. Will Clark, he's good. Could have
really good.
Bart Zizek and then Aiden Abad in there. Abad was fourth? Wow. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, Khalid Al is there. Boone Grove, I know he had been in the rankings a little bit. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Freshman, sophomore placer.
Yeah, he had
it's just tough to get information from Boone Grove, I'm not going to lie. So, I know he was freshman, sophomore placer. I know he is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good 215-pound bracket there with those guys. I know what Cabbage Patch Kids are, Rex. I just didn't understand the reference.
Xavier Roberts discovered the needle molding adjustment technique. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's some weird-looking Cabbage Patch Kids. That's not what I remember Cabbage Patch Kids looking like.
I think I have some up in my attic. I'll bring it out for next week. It'd be like Chucky, kind of.
That thing might give me nightmares, man.
Yeah.
Then heavyweight, I think that's a pretty good one too. Seth Rinfrost, Chris Johnson right off the bat. That'll be a pretty tough one. I know Chris Johnson's had some pretty good wins this year. It was a good 4 out of the Crown Point sectional.
Yeah, there's a lot of good. Man, another ranked guy.
We didn't even talk about 106. We just jumped right into 32. I seen Tegan Newell seated third, had a couple upsets to win his sectional. Riley Griffin had a wild match at Al Smith. It was one of the craziest things. I think he was having asthma attack and they couldn't find his inhaler, and he ran out of injury time and the blood around Al Smith. It was one of the wildest things I ever saw. I've never seen nothing like that.
Jeez.
Where they were yelling for the kids to look through his bag to find his inhaler, and they couldn't restart the match. It was pretty sad actually.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. My kid got asthma. I made sure to put her inhaler in her bat bag after that.
Yeah. 13. We're going to talk about Half Acre and Lewis. So what? We just skipped over 106.
They would have skipped because Eric's in here, man. He's giving us the business.
Yes.
He got his soap. Now he thinks he gets now he gets to be on the show.
Yeah. Gets to dictate what we talk about. We won't talk about 106 next week. We'll pretend that way. We can axe that weight class. We have the power just to say, hey, we don't acknowledge 106, and it's not a real weight class.
Jay County. Caleb's gonna lose some guys at Jay County. I think they have some guys meeting up first round over there. That's where Delta goes, right?
Yep. Yeah. So first at 106, because 106 counts
Yeah,
in
let's
Fort
start at
Wayne.
106.
Miles Carr and Barbosa first round. So Caleb's gonna take his first hit real early, and he's gonna lose all of his confidence there. So, but yeah, Boyd and Griffin Byram potentially, and Diego Barbosa.
The majority of Griffin Byram's losses are at 13, and they're pretty good losses too.
Yeah. 113 Bollinger and Levi Jones. That should be a good one. Both are
One of
undefeated.
those are going to go.
Yeah.
36-0, 31-0.
Yep. Some O is gonna go. That's a good one. I have to use that one on some broadcast.
Can you use it on the IHSA wrestling show?
yeah. I have to try not to predict too many of the finals. But Cade Jackson, Bowen Keith. Bowen Keith's kind of that type that gets hot and cold, and when he's hot, he makes things fun. Hunter Douglas, been in and out of the lineup, won a pretty tough sectional. That's going to be a real good weight class right there. You got Hunter Douglas.
He eventually lost to Henry Ferrer, right? Henry Ferrer had beat him, and then he ended up winning the sectional.
Yeah. So you got Jackson, Ferrer. That's going to be a good one. Yeah. You got a Sprunger from South Adams. Imagine that.
I'll give my guy Sprunger the business a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah. Big up. I don't want to say a big upset. Braden Daniels over Cody Rawless at sectional, so that gives Daniels a nice path to the finals.
Well, yeah, Rafe Keefe right off the bat, man. Rafe Keefe's pretty solid.
Yeah.
That'll be a tough one.
Yeah. Rawless and Mosier potentially in the semis. Two guys with state medals, I believe.
Rawless did just a couple time qualifier, right?
Yeah. Rawless was a qualifier. I was thinking the other guy. Mosier from Delta, Branson Shortgen, semifinal.
Couple of freshmen there.
Yeah. And then Jackson Bradley on the other side of the bracket. So he gave himself, he's got a nice little path there. Tony Wood, Maverick Dubal. I think he placed at Freestyle State once. Man,
Maverick Dubal. Hey, shout out to Maverick Dubal for updating his profile 1,000 times, man. My God, dude, I didn't know what was going on. He posted a lot.
Yes, it was about 30 or 40 times that he wanted to make sure that we got that accomplishment.
Hey, I like when people update their profiles, but I don't remember where I was at. But man, my email was blowing up. I had to put it on snooze for a little bit.
Sorry about that. Colton Romness. I spelled it correctly. I don't think they spelled it. He came back late. I assume injuries, or was it eligibility possibly? Ended up getting second at sectional.
He got more than four matches. I'm on the IndianaMat one, right? He got like 14?
It says 2-2 right now.
I thought he wrestled at Mooresville. Like, did he go? He didn't go O2 barbecue there and win it, did he?
I think he only came in with one match. At least that's what they had in the. Let's see.
I thought Rex said Woods just walking to the state finals. It's like, give me some money on that. I like Tony, but man, I'll take the field. I'll take the field on anybody most of the time.
Yeah.
Too many wild things happen in the state of wrestling.
If he's gonna walk to state, that's gonna be a long walk. I know it's like a 5-hour drive for me. He better start on Monday.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that was like one of my favorite things. Remember when Brandon Wright and Eppert wrestled and it went to Rideouts, and I was sitting with Eric, and Eric said, if Eppert rides right here for 30 seconds, I'll walk home. Someone made a post. It was like we were sitting next to Eric McGill. Did he ever make it all the way home from walking to the state finals?
Nice.
After Eppert rode him for the final 30?
Nice. Well, I'm gonna have to. Let's see. Well, wait. Romness is 44, right?
Yep.
Did you have him in the ranking? Or no, you didn't. Oh yeah, he's 21. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong rankings. I'm looking at Evansville. No wonder I can't find him. He's not in Evansville. We don't care about Evansville.
They'll get their time.
Yes.
Luke and Bill, Jaden Jett, possibly.
He's 16-5.
Mac-
Okay. Yeah.
I, said, I knew he had more than that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll fix that. I'm surprised Cody didn't yell at me about that. Yeah, so 50, Jaden Jett, like as you said. 157, Isaiah Meyer, Gavin Davis. I don't think they wrestled. I think everyone was being very courteous to Mr. Davis. I don't know if it was his birthday or what. He wrestled, 30-some seconds?
Did he get a forfeit in the semis and in the finals?
Yeah, I think so.
We used to call that winning the weigh-ins.
Well, you can't wear the Speedos like Cosgrove anymore. You have to wear your singlet, so you can't even flex on them.
Raison Davenport, 31-1 from Daleville, so that could be possibly a good match in the semi with Meyer. Yeah. I think Meyer was dealing with some injuries. I'm giving those guys a hard time. You gotta. I mean, when you're a coach, you gotta do what's best for your kid and keep him healthy for the state tournament.
Yeah, it's a long state tournament, and one match isn't gonna, especially there where you're wrestling a pretty good kid. You're not. There's no reason to. If you're banged up, you can get another week to heal up, and mentally and physically. So
yeah,
165 is going to be pretty good weight.
Well, you got some good ones right off the bat.
Yeah.
The freshman Somerset versus Stebbins. Stebbins undefeated. Stevens, right? Is that what they said?
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's you got Myers and Abbott in the semis. Cody Cox from Norwell is pretty solid. Kind of under the radar. Obviously overshadowed by guys like Myers and stuff at this sectional regional conference. So that's gonna be that's gonna be 4 good guys that I'm guessing probably 3 qualify for state, if not 4, if they get the right draw. 175, Braxton Russell is pretty having a good season. Wank and Trevor Curry will continue their rivalry. I think they've wrestled multiple times already. 190, 215. Keegan Martin kind of running through the field right now. He's looking pretty good.
He's had a really good year. He's only lost Will Clark in the Al Smith finals.
Yeah, that was a good one.
If you didn't want naked, are you really ready to wrestle?
Yes. Wow, that needs to be on a t-shirt. No.
That'd be one of the t-shirts we had at the Gorilla Radio anniversary show at the state finals.
Yeah. Ooh, I just got some breaking news stuff. 285 is going to be real fun.
Russo's going to fight?
Yes.
That someone was injured and Mr. Miyagi slapped his hands together and rubbed him and healed him. Then their girlfriend said, you know what, actually he's going to come out and wrestle the finals. I've seen this happen before.
Yes. Happens all the time. 285, Isaac Moss, Delta, Zach Worm, and then Juan Cruz, undefeated. So that should be another good one. I just got some fun.
I'll buy 20 of them.
Yes. I got the Genius ratings.
Nice.
Breaking news, hot off the presses. If I didn't lock up my stream, I'd put them out there. Surprise.
Tatum.
Yeah. Crown Point, Brownsburg, Center Grove. Floyd Central is listed as number 4.
Really?
Yeah, over Mater Dei.
Losing Campbell.
Yeah, well, this is based on their duels and tournaments during the season, so so that kind of makes sense there. They were real close to Mater Dei, I believe, at the Mater Dei Classic. Mater Dei, Avon, Terre Haute South is number 7. Delta is number 8. Cathedral, Warren Central, Belmont is 11th. So Penn, Columbus East, Adams Central, New Pal. So, if and the strength of
There you have it, folks.
Yep.
About to get posted. You guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
First, thanks for tuning in.
I always like to see the strength of schedule. That's always kind of fun to see. Crown Point, Brownsburg, Cathedral, Avon, Warren, Zionsville. Center Grove is number 7. Northwood. I always like to see the teams that are ranked kind of low and where they're like Northwood is number 14. They're ranked 60th. Franklin's 15. Belmont is the 16th toughest schedule. Whiteland is 19th. So that's interesting. Wawasee is listed twice for some reason. So this is very interesting here. Columbia City has a 30th best schedule, or actually like 29th. Yeah. Who's last with this?
Who had the last place straight the schedule?
Let's. I'll tell you the team in the top 50 with the worst schedule. Let's say that.
Okay.
Ooh. Milan, 43rd ranked. They have the 289th best schedule.
Huh.
Let's see. Who else? Franklin County. That's their 55th. Anyone else top 50? Oh. This one will be. This one, they have the 232nd best strength of schedule. And they're 25th. Who do you think that would be? Let's see if you can guess.
So they had to have a solid year this year.
Yeah. But they don't wrestle. A very good schedule. They were at Team State. One of the team states.
Rochester.
No.
No, they'd be higher than 25.
Yeah.
New Prairie.
Oak Hill.
Oak Hill.
That's, yeah.
Brownsburg has the 20.
It's Brownsburg, yes.
I think their conference is like too good.
Yeah, their conference would get them. Let's see. All right, the strength schedule is always the one that kind of. Terre Haute South has the 130th best schedule. 131st was Rochester. So Rochester was actually ranked 33rd. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, these are always good to look at. They're kind of, as for anything else, good discussion points. And this is it's something that's it's a fun algorithm of how you do against your opponents and your opponent's opponents and then their opponent's opponents, and it just like goes. I don't even know how far deep it goes, but it's pretty deep in kind of trying to figure out your rating there. And I know my line. So top 5 strength of schedule was Crown Point, Brownsburg, Cathedral, Avon, Warren Central. So no surprises there. Cathedral wrestles a real good schedule. Go to Al Smith, and the Cathedral Super Duels are 2 of the biggest events there. Even when they wrestle the city championship.
Oh man, you got to throw shade on the city. All right, I see what you're doing there.
So
they're at the Trikoff.
Yeah, Trikoff too. Yeah, I forgot. Avon wrestles a good schedule. They really, honestly, Avon's weakest event is probably the New Haven Super Duel, that 10-way duel when they have teams like New Haven, Adams Central, Prairie Heights. If those are, that's their, that's their weakest time there. They go down to Evansville a couple times, so. Warren Central wrestles a good schedule. Zionsville's there. Then Center Grove. I think Center Grove had a couple tournaments or something that were a little bit lower. Columbus East obviously is really good. Mishawaka. There's no. Excuse me. It's not surprising who is in the top 20 for strength of schedule. It's kind of surprised to see Whiteland. That one kind of surprised me though. I don't know what their schedule, who they've wrestled though.
No, they're at Trikoff also. I don't know what they're at over the Christmas break.
They were at the Whiteland one seems a little bit off. They were at the Defiance tournament, but that's really not in there. Mooresville, Plainfield. They go to the Shamrock Duels. They wrestled around Calais, Westfield, Homestead, Shelbyville. They were at Calumet, Decatur Central, Johnson County. So you're wrestling Center Grove and Franklin. I'm sure that bumped them up. Wrestled Zionsville, their Mid-State Conference. So that's an interesting one. So
it's only the peak of 950 for me, boys.
Yeah. So that's interesting. We'll post that. Make sure it's okay to post.
Yeah, we probably could have been. Honestly, we were on about like 7:15, 7:30, but we had a lot to discuss in the pre-show.
Yes, lots of good stuff to talk about. Anyway, anything else? I guess. What do we? You're gonna probably head over. You said to Hobart maybe this weekend, or
yeah, I'm gonna try to go to Hobart or maybe. I have to go right past Crown Point to go to Hobart, so heading north. Either one of those. I think we have a girl signing on Friday, so I don't think we have anything Saturday. So go check that out. Go watch some wrestling, see some upsets maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of the bigger upsets. He said Seth Auburn lost to Cameron Woods.
Yeah, it was. Seth had been wrestling really well too. That's a great win for Cameron Woods.
Yeah, but in all honesty, that isn't that big of a. The sectional ones you can get back a lot easier, and reclaim your seed. I guess is the best way to put it. So that puts 120, aren't they? That puts Auburn on the same side of Ryan Boz. I see that name like all the time. And I don't know why he does not have a profile, but I don't know why I always think he does. So Auburn can avenge that, and reclaim this seed if for lack of better words. So that's taking a loss at sectional isn't that big of a deal. So.
Congratulations, IndianaMat, man. Make weight. You can go to semi-state.
Yeah. Yes.
Some people that's the whole career, man. You just gotta wake up, make sure you're on weight.
That forfeit guy though, man, he's won 6 matches. You can't overlook him. He's 6-4 right now.
Man, that's so crazy, man. That people would rather have forfeits than fill out these brackets.
Yeah,
I don't know the right way to do it, but I think you have to find a way to get at least not have forfeits at the regional level. I'd hope.
Yeah, I'd love to see if you could. I mean, it is the Michigan model where they allow up to 2 guys in a weight class. It'd be interesting to see how that would work, and if there would be more.
That's my cat eating out of this can.
Cat's doing the dishes. Man, you got that thing trained.
Try that, man.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what would happen if you're able to put 14 guys up to 2 in a weight class. How teams would shift that around if they were already full. If they would maybe, not wrestle at their 106 or their 132 pounder or something, and throw out 2 44s or something like that. I don't know what you do, but it'd be interesting to see how that would affect the sectional and regional brackets. But we did, on a good note, and I haven't posted anything on it yet because I wanted to triple confirm, and it was kind of on a whim, and I have not had time to check everything. But it appears that we do have less forfeits this year overall. So 761 forfeits, which is about 30 less than last year. So
that's getting those numbers up, man.
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
I think just I don't know, man. I think the participation, if you were able to do that, like Center Grove has two guys at heavyweight that probably should both be in the bracket, you know?
Yeah, I I think people look at it too much with the bigger schools. That I mean, we can talk all day. You know, Crown Point's B team would be they would probably be in have Russell offs in the finals. You know, if they enter their B team at sectional, and they have some good kids there. They have a state placer on the bench right now. You know, so
yeah. So does Brownsburg.
Yeah, yeah. So we don't need to really talk, but for the small schools, I think it would help them tremendously, especially those ones that have just a few kids and someone's blocked in out of a weight because they can't go up 2 or 3 weight classes. They can't cut a ton of weight, so they're JV, and you know you can dangle that carrot that hey, you know you're going to wrestle at sectional, and you know that's something that's pretty cool to do. You know, say you wrestled at sectional, you gave yourself I mean, if you're wrestling there, you have a shot to advance. You have a shot to win some matches. So, and I mean, the details of it, like who's scoring and stuff, you can figure that out later. I mean, at this point, it's get this through, and then we can figure out the details. But I think you decrease the actual forfeits, and more kids would be wrestling that sectional. More than anything, more kids would be wrestling that sectional. You wouldn't have less.
And I think I wonder how many how the forfeit numbers will look next year if they do sanction girls wrestling, because you're gonna have some of those girls that someone like Kendall Moe who won her sectional. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be you're gonna wrestle with the girls now, or Heather Crawl won her sectional, Juliana Ocampo won her sectional.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Danny Struck he likes to he likes those numbers, so I send that to him when I got it. And I was like, I wonder what it would be like if once it's sanctioned, because that is something. How many girls do you think were in that bracket? 50-ish? I would say there's probably at least around 50-ish. I mean, and that's just a rough number based on just kind of some experience of looking at some brackets and stuff. I'd say there's about 50-ish. So hopefully that doesn't jump our forfeits. But Danny said that a lot of the states that were a real rush to sanction girls wrestling saw a big drop off in boys participation, and we're starting to. We just a couple of years ago, we had over 1,000 forfeits. We've cut off 300 forfeits pretty recently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was 300 girls participating in the sectional level, but I bet there was 50.
Yeah, no, I mean there in 2019 we had over 1,000 forfeits at sectional. And now we're down to 761. So we've taken off 250, which is pretty good. That's awesome. I mean, that means one extra kid almost per school is wrestling. So good for everybody that good for the coaches that did that. We did have a high of 1,100 in 2021. That's a little. I would say that was an anomaly, just mainly because of COVID and stuff, and I don't have 2020's data in front of me, but I'll have to find that. But yeah, it's good that we are cutting down on forfeits, and hopefully it continues that trend. And there's 3. Thought I saw that there were 3 brackets. 2 of them were 106, and then you got the 126 here at Hobart. So hopefully we get people continuing in that trend. So number 3 and 4, yep. Yeah, we could see quite a few girls at state this year. I mean, I'm counting probably 2 are pretty well. I want to say they're locks. I know one I would consider pretty good. I don't know where. I know Crawl. She's like 3rd. I don't know. I don't know if there's potential death draws for her or Crawl. So
Joey Cantu had a good win over Nash Burke of Munster, who was in the rankings.
Yeah. So it looks like Bismeyer and Moe will be in the same regional. Crawl, Bismeyer, if the rankings work out and Shutley will all be semi-state champs. The next one would be, we're looking at Pendleton Heights. We're looking going down would be North Montgomery, Aragon, from Lebanon. So
Carlos Federici.
Yeah, Carlo Federici. Yeah, so
I think I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, if you're using like female to female records and like getting seated on that, it's probably not the best system to do that.
Yeah.
But also, like, you've seen it in the past where, like, I know we've talked about it before where there's people that had, 25 wins with like 20 forfeits.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we got 25 wins. It's like, well, like, how many actual warm bodies did you wrestle?
Yeah. Yeah, the coach or the IHSA kind of took out that forfeits count for winning percentage, which was a good thing to do because then that kind of limited. You didn't get screwed over by wrestling actual people as much.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's still people that wrestle weaker. I mean, and that sometimes that's not a kid's fault or a coach's fault. They wrestle good schedules and they just not hitting anyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's you can wrestle decent. I mean, we can go through these strength of schedules and see that there's some kids on those teams that just. I mean, I know a couple years ago with Landez. It just seemed like no one had a 160 pounder that was, until we got to Al Smith. He had one good match. It's like everyone else, just no one was at that level. And it's like, dude, I know that people have. I mean, we're wrestling good teams, solid teams, and it's like, where's all the 160 pounders? They just weren't on the teams we were wrestling. So that's one of those things. So, yeah, we will get brackets out as soon as we get the formula. I would assume early afternoon on Sunday. I have yet to get any confirmation of when that formula will be released. I think do we have the semi? I think the semi-state brackets might have an opening time. I have not checked though. Grade school.
What if I get a handwritten formula and I give it to you?
Will it be the right one though? That's the question.
It was the right one time, and then they switched it on us.
Yes.
And everyone went crazy.
No, it wasn't handwritten. It was there was the official IHSA document.
Well, I know. I remember.
Yes. I was like,
we made it up.
That was a very interesting thing. It says they will be released 2/5 at 3:30 p.m., which the 5th is Monday.
The day after my brother's birthday?
Yeah. That is Monday at 4:30 p.m. That is what it says right now. That might change. Last year it was like at 1 o'clock. So I will try to see if I can find out. I'll find out. You all know. we do know them. We just are sworn to secrecy. Yeah, no.
We had to make sure they're right because one time we gave the wrong one. We gave the right ones and they changed them on us and it made us look silly.
Yes, yeah, that was fun. Like it was I was like, I'd never seen a state bracket formula sheet before. Yeah, that was and it came from pretty trusted people.
Very, very trusted people.
Yes, that I don't think were good at that time of manipulating sheets of paper like that to make it look official. No. And it was. I double checked. With there was a little bit of a hack with track wrestling that you could see your first round matches and they all matched up. So at that time, and then they changed. So anyway, use this info.
That's for a good cause.
Yes, that's a good bold strategy. Bold strategy there, Mike. So, anything else we want to talk about today?
We missed the Mendez Sergio Lemley match.
Yes.
It was sad to see it come down the wire. And Indiana native Lucas Davison lost to Feldman, but still exciting duel for Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah.
IU taking down Purdue. That was
yeah. Oh yeah. That was a big IU put it on them pretty bad, which I was not expecting. I thought there could be a couple close matches. IU kind of came to wrestle, and they got 2 Big Ten wins, which is good. So
shout out to our guy Dane. He got a little broadcasting under his belt.
Yeah, Indiana Tech over Marion. That was a good match. A lot of Indiana guys wrestling. You had Elliot Rogers and Jonathan Curvin with a win there. So pretty neat to see. A lot of familiar names on that. I watched a few of the matches there. I had to go to Costco between that. So and Mike does deliver good soap. Mike will smell good too. So
it's for the people, man.
Yes. He can't beat the I don't even know what $40-$50, whatever it is for like the tub that's
how much it was. I was selling Super Bowl squares. I think I just all sold out though.
Oh, you need to do another one. 2 of them.
Do another board?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man. Like you think that, and then no one wants to sell them.
Yeah.
I sold my last 2 to my guy Kevin Frazier, man. Looking out. Hopefully he wins. I sold the winner. I sold one $250 winner last year. Then the year before I sold like a $1,500 winner. So.
Oh, nice. All for the Crown Point Bulldog softball program.
Yeah, travel softball. We're making all these commitments, man. Hopefully my daughter's the next one. So.
Nice.
Look at what on Friday. One of our Crown Point girls signing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you have girls from all over there too. Then I assume.
Yeah. Dan Luther, who's a coach at New Prairie, his daughter plays with us. I was at New Prairie High School on Thursday. She did her signing. I got to see. I did not sign. Caleb Halfaker wanted to move into number 11 because he beat number 11. I didn't move him that high, but he was in the rankings. I was at South Suburban College. One of the girls from Andrean to sign there. I was at South Central High School. She's going to Concordia, so.
Concordia.
Man, 1,000 per square. Yeah, Oof. She's going to Concordia, Ann Arbor, which is right next to the University of Michigan. We actually have a lot of girls. Can we do an IndianaMat board? I would do it. 1,000 a square. Eric Rudden, man, he's our bookie.
Yeah, yes. There's millions for a good cause. Yeah, 1,000 a square. Woo. That'll be fun with the tax guy.
Can we take credit?
So. Yeah, no, that's good to see that many girls and getting that kind of. I'm just now trying to figure out all this travel stuff with a younger lad. So,
yeah, I think we're down to our last. We have one girl that wants to go in the military. We're down to our last 3 girls uncommitted. So they're all 25. So pretty exciting.
No, so there's 3 girls still have another 2 years of softball before they. Go off.
But. Yeah, I think this summer is the big summer for them.
Yeah.
We'll hit a lot of those showcases.
How's the recruiting different in softball type stuff compared to wrestling? You go to the Super 32, you go to IPO even, you go to Fargo, you can get recruited.
I feel like wrestling's more streamlined. It's hard to explain to the softball people. You wrestle ISWA stuff, you wrestle ISWA state. They don't really have. It's more spread out for softball. But you go to the bigger events. Yeah, you go. Depending on where you're gonna go. I feel like there's a ton of colleges, tons of colleges. I'm sure there's a ton of colleges in wrestling too. I think generally you only look at the bigger. Obviously Marion and Tech have done a great job in Indiana. Trine's done a really good job in Indiana getting people to wrestle. But there's so many schools in Illinois, right across the border. Indiana doesn't have – I think we have one junior college, right?
Yeah, yep.
Ancilla.
Yes.
There's only junior college. But there's a ton. So you want to play the better stuff like PGF, which is, the big one. You're at a lot of those, and you're seeing a lot more coaches. We're in Westfield a lot, so I get to go to the hometown of Terry O'Neill. Terry told me his boys worked the parking situation there, which is, man, it's for such a beautiful facility. The parking sucks at Green Park. If you're not there early, man, you're getting terrible. I mean, they got 20 fields or something stupid.
Oh, geez.
But
yeah.
It's a gorgeous facility. But I'm gonna drop his kids' names for sure. I'm dropping the O'Neill's names when I'm there next time.
Just shoot Terry a text. Say, hey, I'm coming up. Can you guys block off a spot for me front row? We'll get you in the rankings.
Dude, well, his boys do a good job, so I'm sure they're always right in the mix.
Yeah.
But man, the hotels, that was, everyone always says, hey man, you want to stay? You can stay at my house, man. And I'm thinking like, I don't know, man. We're coming and going at all hours of the night. You don't want to stay there.
When you have a 3 a.m. game, yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll be in Iowa. We'll be in Bettendorf at the end of the month. It'll be like our last one before the girls go to high school, and then that'll be it, man. We'll take a couple months off, and we have a couple girls. New Prairie. So Dan Luther's daughter won a state champ last year. Andrea was the runner-up. So my girls are at Andrea now. We're pretty excited. We just hired the former national player of the year, who's one of the best girls to ever come out of Indiana. It'd be like getting Spencer Lee to coach your high school wrestling team.
That's not bad.
No. And so we're pretty excited about that. But I mean, it's about that time of the year. I mean, we don't really stop. So it's similar to that. But the recruiting process of it, big events, and a lot of camp, a lot of college stuff.
Yeah, the showcase type. I know they do that for football, and that's why I never understand. Like football, they just measure you and like, oh yeah, we think we can do something with you. You're 6'7" and 300 pounds.
They do. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of like body type. Like they look for a certain body type of, like, it's not the end all be all, but they want you to like kind of fit into a mold.
Yeah.
But you know, you do the college camps and you go meet the college. You know, I mean, I don't know if you're getting recruited like that in wrestling. If you're going to like I don't know what, Jay Robinson camp, they're like, man, we really love Joe.
Yeah.
It's probably more like result based than like get you in the room based.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, yeah, I mean, but they do have the RTCs and stuff now that they can see those guys in those environments, which is good. Or heck, they're not having the camp, but you know, like Kale Sanderson came over to Crown Point and stuff, so they'll come watch you practice. But it's not but they're not going over to Crown Point just without knowing that, like, someone like Jesse Mendez, who's pretty good at wrestling, is there.
I think in that day, like, it was in the summer. I think Sergio Lemley was in there too. They probably had an opportunity to talk to another, you know, Big Ten guy.
Yeah,
they're doing all right, though. Penn State's doing okay.
Yeah.
They're making coaches, you know, say you shouldn't be pinning our guys like that.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what that. I think there's some missing context there. I don't think, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, no, it's interesting.
Robin Flicker was there, and they were trying to like settle him down, or what?
I don't know. Ficker, who is if this is really off topic, but he was a professional heckler. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he would heckle like Michael. If you look him up, he's like a lawyer, so he's super smart, at least semi smart, I guess. And he would go heckle like at the Washington Bullets games.
Yeah.
And he follows Maryland wrestling now, and he was at NCAA's the 1 year and multiple years. So not just, but he was right behind me, and I was on the press row, and he's like, on whatever his crazy things, and they had like one of those gates, and he pushed it over, and he's like, okay, and then he just sat down, and everyone's like looking at him like, it's him. But,
yeah, he's I mean, hey man, everything good for him, but man, we sat by him the year in Des Moines when Dake and Taylor wrestled, and I was overserved, and man, he was really annoying.
Oh yes, yeah, especially when he's right beside you. And it's funny for the first like 3 minutes, and then it's like, okay, we're done here, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine him doing that like in the NBA game, sitting right behind like Michael Jordan and stuff?
What they say, like Charles Barkley, like I think they did like a E60 on him one time.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you put it in, they still have it on there. But man, he comes up with these wild ass rhymes. So
yes, yes, and it's and he has a very good voice. And he is very, very, very loud, and yeah. And people don't, after they figured out who he was, they won't let him sit by them. Especially because he'll rotate. So, oh yeah, fun times. So, okay, well, I think we're good for this week. Next week we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're probably gonna have a couple episodes with semi-state brackets and going over that stuff. So, stay tuned. just have your notifications on when we go live. We'll go a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot less going on right now, so I mean, we probably could have went earlier today.
Yeah. Well, we started earlier.
Yeah, we had an idea about it, and then, we started talking all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah. So this week's the crazy stuff. This is the I always want to do like a live just bracket, reactions, but we never get them at the right time. We need to coordinate that better.
Yeah, because that's like Christmas morning to me when I'm seeing those death draws. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah. Ooh. So if I get it, we'll be in touch. If I get a good time, maybe we can go live. That'd be fun. So anyway, well, we're gonna get off of here, and just as a heads up, my thing's locked up, so I'm gonna have to close this off again, like I did the other day. So we'll see you guys. Good luck, everyone at regional, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, just gotta turn this off.